Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killerrodan. So for this video, I figure I'll just do something fairly quick here because I do want to discuss something in regards of martial arts, kung fu and whatnot. Since I've covered like a shit ton of kung fu movies, and I still have a ton to talk about this kind of a thing. I still have a lot more, so taking a slight break from reviewing stuff and just going into something really stupid but still keeping the realm of kung fu and whatnot, of course. But yeah, going into the whole idea of really stupid takes, really dumbass takes. Holy shit, this is stupid. Like, wow, these people exist. So okay, let's just cut to the chase, shall we? And get to the damn point. The Jehovah's Witnesses. Oh yes, the Jehovah's Witnesses. I've critiqued them and made fun of them before, so I'm doing it again here. I went to the website, of course, and yeah, why not? I thought, why not? And I know some people might be thinking that, okay, what the hell does any of this have to do with kung fu or martial arts or whatever? Well, the annoying part, like it wasn't obvious enough, they have an inability to understand other people's cultures, which is frustrating. All right, the Jehovah's Witnesses, they're just a bunch of horses' asses, if you ask me, but whatever. Anyway, in light on the news, love of violence. Like, okay, something about more and more young people committing violent crimes. So, what does this have to do with martial arts? I don't know. And then this little article I just showed goes on to say that there's a recent report issued by Social Research Center of Hong Kong's Chinese University points out to this particular factor. Okay, what is the source you're talking about? How is this connected to that exactly? Are you just talking about China or the United States?
I'm sorry, I'm confused.
And what is this university speaking of? What is the name of it? Tell me what it is, so I can look at myself. Funny you don't mention that whatsoever.
What? Stay with us. No. Of course.
What does being a very, very violent criminal have to do with martial arts exactly?
We have the room. I don't know some of.
It's like me going to a McDonald's burger joint to set up a doctor's appointment because the auto shop for cars told me to do so.
Slow down.
Are you implying that being a martial artist and being a violent criminal are both one the same? How do you conclude that?
Wait, what?
Yes, I'm still gonna be watching Kung Fu movies and talk about it in this channel. And if any Jehovah's Witnesses got a problem with that, well, I have to tell you this.
Then leave.
This just. I just started talking about this and it really doesn't make any sense. So, okay, you're gonna be that damn paranoid. Why not have a bunch of security guards on one of your churches, the Jehovah Witnesses churches, I mean, uh, just just keeping guard in case a violent criminal just in case a violent criminal uses his or her kung fu to break in to infiltrate your thing here. Okay, according to the report that this article is referring to, there's a huge percentage of youthful lawbreakers that were supposedly investigated by the central belong to kung fu organizations over these youngsters or kung fu movie enthusiasts and kung fu magazine enthusiasts, and these individuals also took place in, I guess, in dojos to practice kung fu. Like, are you kidding me?
You serious?
You're serious, right? You can't be serious. You're joking. This has to be a fucking joke. This has to be a fucking joke. Okay. I mean, the whole point of martial arts, of kung fu, is to defend yourself or defend someone else's behalf. That's the idea. Without going shooting. I mean, without getting a gun and blasting a bunch of people. Matter of fact, it doesn't even have to be for fighting either, because there are people who used it for meditating, like Tai Chi Kwon Tai Chi Kwon the fact that these movements, the people who practice Tai Chi Kwon the reason is, well, is one of the reasons in a way, that people who practice Tai Chi Kwon the fact that it's slower was intentional, because the point of this can also be used for meditating. So I don't get it. I mean, yes, the whole idea. I mean, yes, there are some kung fu people who went rogue, and then the other people who practice kung fu have to teach them a lesson. Wait a minute. That was actually used as a plot line for some of these martial art movies, because the criminal, the bad guy people, are using kung fu in a violent way, and then the good kung fu uh, fighters have to teach them a lesson, because you're not supposed to use kung fu in a violent way. Again, that was actually used as a plot line for some of these movies. You would have known that if you actually paid attention. All right, doing your research, you're not going to do that. All of you Jehovah's Witnesses don't do your research whatsoever. All right, you never do. Not really. Moreover, is that because this article is not very long, by the way. It really isn't. But anyway, this this article just goes on and on about a whole lot of nothing when you think about it. Like it wasn't obvious enough.
None of this makes sense.
Make this more bizarre, as it was bizarre already. Let's argue that the Jehovah's Witnesses church people, they don't want to hire security guards with guns and whatnot because, oh no, it's too violent. But mind you, these are the same people who would actually depend on law enforcement or security guards around certain places if somebody is quote unquote discriminated against them. That's or harassing them in some kind of fashion. What? But then they get mad on kung fu people who are being supposedly violent. If there's self defense or on the defense on someone's behalf, what? Ugh. I can't stand these people. I swear to God. Anyway, as this continues, is that kung fu, a Chinese martial arts, has even been using some kind of effects on children of kindergarten age. So yes, they're using the whole thing of
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
like you're gonna really weaponize kids. That's really all kinds of disrespectful towards children and morality. You Jehovah's Witnesses acted like you're the end all be all when it comes to morality. Another thing, kung fu, it's just an what do you call it, an umbrella term. The Chinese are not the only people that invented martial arts, which, when you think about it, oh yeah, that's extremely racist. The Japanese have done it. The Jamaicans have their own martial arts. Yeah, seriously, look that up if you want. People from Thailand have kung fu of their own, so on and so forth. You don't even necessarily have to be Asian to have martial arts. Speaking of Asians, uh, okay, even the people of South Korea and North Korea have their own versions of martial arts as well.
This is stupid! This is stupid! Stupid, 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 stupid,
Okay.
Okay, so what's the direct link of martial arts and violent criminals? This article is almost done. It's literally almost just about to be done. So, what is the direct link exactly to throwing a punch or combination of moves to extremely violent criminals like selling drugs and stuff like that, or robbing a bank and stuff like that? Oh, I'm confused here. What is the direct link exactly? I still don't know. But to make this entire thing is more absurd, your church, the Jehovah's Witness Church, is known for abusing kids in more ways than one, in various ways. And not just touching, though that's one of them. But the thing is that That's a violent act, even if it's just verbally or just touching in that way. It's still violent in a way because it's violating their their bodies in one way or their minds, the mental, the body autonomy one way or another. But then you're the same group of people that will get annoyed with women dressing up all suggestively. I guess you would say that's one way of doing it. Just to control them. You get mad at women, of course, women, which is sexist, of course, and you get mad at them for doing this kind of a thing. So, which is a form of control when you think about it. But okay, you get mad at this, and this is too sexy.
Smash, 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 smash. Yeah, I'm from Texas, my bitches got ass.
Okay, just about to be finished here, folks. But anyway, apparently, according to this article not too long ago, there was this head mistress. That sounds sexual, doesn't it? But maybe that's just me, and maybe I'm just being dirty here. But at some infant school in London, in England, somewhere, somehow, in some place, at some point. Okay, there's again really vague information again. Had I guess had appealed to the parents not to permit their children to watch programming such as martial arts. So, so again, this just goes into the controlling thing I was just mentioning a moment ago. She, whoever this is, I'm guessing the mother. I don't know, the sister. I don't know, somebody. Anyway, we have two or three children injured, and these little children will beat each other up in the playground. And that's the example. Who are these children? What are you talking about here? What does this got to do with kung fu? What is this place? What are you talking about here? We need to know these damn things. What are you speaking about here? So anyway, I'm just okay.
That doesn't make sense.
So how is little kids punching each other, hitting each other in a playground equals to martial arts being the link to violent kung fu fighters as criminals? What the hell? Don't children rough house anyway? So anyway, the article pretty much ends with asking, do do you want your children to engage in violent acts? Jehovah himself examines the righteousness of one as well as the wicked one. As pretty much using a quote from the Bible, their version of the Bible, to I guess represent what they're talking about. How virtue that Christian parents everywhere talk in a kindly way with their children as a way to determine their interests and control their reading, entertainment, and other things. Again, it's just about control. You must just control everything, every aspect of your life, and that's pretty much it. That's it. That's all there is to it. That is with this segment of this other article thing here. And yeah, there's not much else to it. It was really literally what it just said. That's about it. I'm just what? Just feels dumbfounded here. But okay. So yeah, that's about it, folks. Because this shows you they know nothing about cultures. I was saying earlier, you intolerant swines. Uh, excuse me. I'm gonna have a beer or two.